Fox News is part of the reason why I'm making the transition from being a registered Republican to being a registered independent. I don't want to be a Democrat. I don't want to be a Republican because, as far as I'm concerned, Republicans are robbing the bank and Democrats are driving the getaway car. Neither side has done anything, and I'm not talking about just from now till Bush the senior or from now till Clinton, because a lot of people are in the mindset that everything started going wrong after Ronald Reagan. The truth of the matter is, Democrats and Republicans running the government have not done anything at all for a very, very long time. First of all, if you think back to Bush Sr., Bush Sr. told everybody, yes, I promise, no more taxes, read my lips, no more taxes. Yet, the tax rate is what it is now. Clinton raised taxes, yes. Clinton was a tax and spend liberal, yes. Did Clinton run up the deficit that George Bush Jr. did? No. As far as I'm concerned, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican, what people don't seem to realize is we're paying taxes because some amount of money has to pay for all the shit that this country has. Whether it's the soldiers that are still in Japan after all these years, whether it's the soldiers that are still in Germany, whether it's the soldiers that are in Iraq or Afghanistan, whatever, or the soldiers who are still in Ascension Island or the soldiers who are in the Philippines, something has to pay for this massive empire that America has. And guess what? It's going to be your taxes. So unfortunately for you teabaggers out there who don't like taxes, you might want to walk out of this country right now because the tax rate's only going to end up getting higher. It won't happen overnight, but it's going to happen over the next 3 presidencies, just like it's already been happening. Unfortunately, Fox News doesn't cover the situation properly. What they do is they attack Bill Clinton, they attack Obama, they give nothing but praise to Ronald Reagan, who put most of this bullshit into motion. And when it comes to George Bush Sr., they try not to attack him at all. They try to push everything on Obama. But, truth be told, this situation with Michael Moore, where Michael Moore has released a very good, excellent movie, Capitalism, that should wake many people up, except for only the dumbest of the dumb won't be woken up. Only the dumbest morons that there are, the most uneducated fools, might not be woke up by this movie. This movie, Capitalism, A Love Story, is an excellent movie. And, of course, even though Michael Moore is not attacking Fox News in this movie, and Michael Moore spends a good deal of time in this movie attacking both Democrats and Republicans, especially George Bush's policies, especially people like Ben Bernanke. Even though Michael Moore seems to be, to me, Michael Moore is not a partisan person. You can call him a liberal, but he's definitely not a person who specifically is Democrat or Republican, because I think Michael Moore has reached the exact same point I have where he doesn't care about either side. He doesn't trust either side. But this movie, you should see it, especially before you decide to criticize more about it, because as far as I'm concerned, you can't criticize him until you actually see it, and then you have something to criticize him about. But I find it interesting that, watching Fox News, that the title of this news report, and I saw this on television yesterday, the title was Hannity versus Moore. Considering the fact that Moore did not attack Fox News in that movie, why would it be Hannity versus Moore? Why is it that when Hannity gives an interview to Sarah Palin, it's not Hannity versus Palin? Why does it always have to be Fox News versus the person, whether or not they're attacking Fox News or not? Why must it be an adversarial situation? As far as I'm concerned, Fox News is not news at all. It's nothing more than a bunch of actors getting on stage and putting on a big show, whether or not they know what the fuck they're talking about. Because let me tell you this, I was a banker since 1998. I worked mortgages from 2000 onwards to 2007, close to 2008, during around December 2007. Hannity doesn't know what the fuck a credit default swap is. Hannity doesn't know what a 2x28 loan is. He doesn't know what a 3x27 is. He knows nothing about the loans. He knows nothing about the wording of these loans. So for this fool to talk about people not being deceived when Michael Moore is clearly saying that people were deceived. And a person like me who was in the banking industry who could look and see exactly what Moore is talking about both in his movie and on all these interviews he's given, for Hannity to claim that, oh, these people weren't deceived, is nothing more than evidence that not only is this person a fucking idiot, on top of that, his station, Fox News, his entire the entire corporate media backing him up. They're foolish for not firing him. As far as I'm concerned, these people know nothing about what they're talking about. If you go and you sit down with a real banker or you sit down with a real financial consultant, they might be able to tell you the truth about these loans. They might be able to tell you the truth about the wording of these loans, because the problem is a lot of people who took out these loans couldn't afford lawyers. They couldn't afford to hire a $5,000 lawyer like I did when I bought my house. A lot of these people couldn't afford to do everything above board. So what they ended up doing was going for the no closing cost loans and anything that was given out as an incentive to close a loan with them. JP Morgan Chase does it. Citibank has done it, HSBC has done it, all the banks have done it, and the problem is it's absolutely legal to do this because they chose that that's the way that they want to do it, and because Congress never passed any laws, and I'm not talking about just the Democrat Congress, I'm talking about the Republican Congress that was in office for the last 8 years before the Democrats got in. They did nothing about it, absolutely nothing. They did not come in and say, oh, well, we've got a problem that's growing, so let's change it. No, they did nothing. In fact, they actually made it worse. As far as I'm concerned, the Democrats and the Republicans are both scum. But more importantly, these news agencies are fucked up. Fox News is probably the worst, shittiest news agency I've ever heard. They've got these people on there who are nothing more than actors. They know nothing about what they're talking about. And then they're adversarial. Every time they bring a liberal on, or any time they bring a Democrat on, they're attacking them. And the only time they're not attacking a Democrat or a liberal is if that Democrat or a liberal is a traitor to their side, such as Joe Lieberman, or such as these Blue Dog Democrats who are nothing more than Republicans in disguise. Republicans who didn't give a fuck about the system or their ideologies. They jumped from one side to the next simply so they could keep their fucking job. These cocksuckers are fucking career politicians. They don't give a fuck about American people. They only want to make their money so that this way, when it comes time for retirement, they get to retire. These same motherfuckers who are blocking healthcare, or not really even blocking healthcare, because at this point, Obama's going to take healthcare and ram it down their throats, whether they like it or not, which I applaud Obama for. These bastards who are blocking healthcare already have government healthcare, and they're the ones who are telling people that they shouldn't have it. I've dealt with clients who've had Medicare, Medicaid. I've dealt with clients who've gotten Cigna through their jobs. They were teachers, New York City Board of Ed, New Jersey Board of Education, or Department of Education, I should say. These people are all government employees, and yet you've got these fucking congressmen telling people that they shouldn't have government health care because it destroys the options. Well, guess what, guys? If you've got government health care and the American taxpayers are paying your fucking salaries and they're paying your fucking health care, why is it that all of a sudden it's a problem for the American people to have a public option that's coming from the government? Why is it then the problem? Why is it all of a sudden this is going to explode the deficit? Meanwhile, you fucking scumbags have Lockheed Martin collecting all this corporate welfare to build airplanes that don't work in the rain, or to build missile defense shields that won't properly protect the country because a true missile defense system has to have multiple layers. Guys, the problem with Fox News is that they cater to the lowest of the low of the uneducated redneck population of the Midwestern United States and the South. These people are idiots. And the beautiful thing about it is they're running out of votes. And because they're running out of votes, they may never win another presidential election. And I'm calling upon all liberals to make that happen. As far as I'm concerned, every liberal, every Democrat, you should boycott Fox News. You should never go on Fox News for an interview. You should do exactly what Obama did when he launched the media blitz about health care last week or 2 weeks ago. You should boycott Fox News. You should never go on there. Those people are an illegitimate organization. They are not true news. They are nothing more than libelous comments and slander. I say all liberals should boycott Fox News. Do not go on it. They're nothing but bullshit.